When I was on that stage press conference, I kind of got emotional a little bit. Like, wow, I'm back here again where I started. And just how Stephanie White was speaking so highly of me. Like, I'm like, this is where I need to be at, and this is where I belong. And I'm just so happy to be able to come back and handle some unfinished.
Cheryl Swoops once claimed that no one would want to play for the Indiana Fever, but the team proved her wrong.
People in the Fever were like, y'all.
That's not my point. There's a lot of other going on that players are like, this ain't where I want to be.
Over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some new shit going on around there.
It's a lot. Yeah. So you have players that are very significant on this Indiana Fever team that are like, I don't
want to be here.
This is where I want to be.
Natasha Howard shut down her critics by joining the Indiana Fever, where she stood strong in support of Caitlin Clark and the whole team.
I'm really excited to also play with Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, like the player that, that I also say stuff on the court to them when I'm like playing against them. So, but I'm happy that I'm playing with them, not against them no more.
Natasha Howard is no ordinary player. She's a 3-time WNBA champion, a former Defensive Player of the Year, and one of the rare players to average 18 points and 7 rebounds last season. So, what made an elite star like Howard decide to join forces with Caitlin Clark? And why is she so committed to defending Clark and the Indiana Fever? Let's take a closer look.
Yo, what's up, fans? I'm happy to be a Fever. You see me? See me? You see me? You see me with this on? Yeah, I'm back, baby. I'm back where I started.
Back in April, critics were quick to attack Caitlin Clark, with Cheryl Swoops at the forefront, saying no one would want to play with Clark in Indiana. But that story has been completely turned around.
What kind of things you said?
I'm not in the locker room.
Okay.
But I'm talking about more social media.
Okay. It's a turn.
Right?
It's a turn, right? It's really a turn of the tides.
Well,
right?
Gil, here's my point. The beginning of the year, right? Everybody.
For months, critics like Cheryl Swoops suggested that established WNBA stars would shy away from the Indiana Fever, claiming veterans would avoid the team to escape the media frenzy surrounding Caitlin Clark. The narrative of media attention, packed arenas, and the so-called Caitlin Clark circus became a go-to story for those trying to downplay Clark's influence.
WNBA MVPs in your career, would you consider each of those 3 seasons as dominant seasons for yourself?
No.
I can't. Bro, Cheryl Swoops is willing to lie about her own career before she even admits that Caitlin...
Then, something surprising happened. Natasha Howard, a 3-time WNBA champion, former Defensive Player of the Year, and a highly respected veteran, not only signed with the Indiana Fever, but also chose to return to the team that drafted her in 2014, completing a full-circle journey.
This is a tremendous, not only a tremendous player, but a tremendous person. And what she's done the last 9 years in her career has put her in the elite company of many athletes and many players in this league. So, I want to say thank you to Natasha and to her family for coming back to us. Because when a player returns to a place that drafted them, that's special. And she chose us because she could have gone.
Signing wasn't just about a contract. It was a bold statement that completely dismantled the narrative of Indiana being a toxic place. During her press conference, Natasha Howard shared her excitement, saying, "I feel like I'm supposed to be here. I'm happy to be back where I started."
At the end of the day, the way Indiana came at me with everything they promised me and they keeping their promise, they sold me. And I took the bait for it, and I'm happy to be back where I started and also being back with Coach, so and Kelly, and also Amber as well, bringing her along. It's just a blessing to be back where I started, and also for my family and friends to also see me back where I started at as well. Just amazing and a grateful feeling to be back in a Indiana Fever jersey.
The emotional significance of Natasha Howard's return was clear when she received her original 2014 Indiana Fever jersey. It wasn't just a contract signing. It was a full-circle moment, tying her past to a bright future with the rejuvenated team.
Good one right there.
I'll be back like
Number 33, the original. Back at it.
Oh, jersey.
Look, the original.
Right, we was with Adidas.
Look at that.
2014, y'all.
2014.
Natasha Howard was far from an afterthought in the Fever's off-season plans, as General Manager Kelly Cross explained. Howard was their top target from the beginning. Described as a player with high integrity, class, and a great teammate, she was carefully pursued to help reshape the roster.
It's always being on my butt about hustling, working hard. Do the little things, because the little things gonna take you a long way. And when I got the minutes that I played my rookie year, I took every advantage of it, and I'm happy to be back next to her, playing with her and her coach.
Fever's co-owner Amber Cox couldn't contain her excitement when introducing Natasha Howard. She pointed out that while most players have a one-page resume, Howard's achievements fill several pages, underscoring the elite talent now joining Caitlin Clark in Indiana.
But first of all, we have the people to actually do it. So my thing is, I'm happy, like I said, to be a part of this, and also bring the leadership and the desire to, to show the young group what it takes to win a championship. I have 3, so my thing is to show them you can't take no days off in practice. You gotta think, when you practice, it's the way how you play. So my thing is coming in, I'm just gonna show them this is how you work hard. So when you work hard, it's gonna be easy in the game. It won't be as hard. So my thing is just bringing that championship mentality to the locker room.
What makes this signing truly remarkable and completely breaks down the Swoops narrative are Natasha Howard's own words. Instead of avoiding the Fever, she expressed genuine gratitude, saying, "I'm really honored and blessed to join a team that appreciates me."
Of accomplishments are long. People say you should have a one-page resume. Natasha cannot have that. It is several pages. 3-time champion, 2-time All-Star, Defensive Player of the Year, Most Improved Player. Again, the list goes on and on and on.
Natasha Howard reflected on her growth since her first time with Indiana, sharing, "I've grown a lot as a person and a player. Many teams didn't truly appreciate me." Her choice to return to the Fever wasn't just about basketball. It was personal, seeking a place where her talents and contributions would truly be valued.
It was day one. When I got this job, Kelly and I were on the phone, and we had 2 things on our to-do list. Re-sign Kelsey Mitchell and bring back Natasha Howard. We have been focused on this day and this moment since the day we started this process.
Natasha Howard didn't just find a team that values her. She discovered the perfect basketball partnership with Caitlin Clark. This isn't just any pairing. It's a dynamic duo, with Howard's explosive play style complementing Clark, arguably the most creative passer in the game today. Howard's elite transition scoring ability is exactly what Clark needed in Indiana. While critics claimed no one wanted to play with Clark, these two were quietly building what could become one of the most dangerous fast-break duos the WNBA has ever seen. Just imagine watching that chemistry unfold every night on the court.
The person that's sitting next to me is of high integrity, high class, great teammate. Players in this league love her. So welcoming her back, putting her on the floor with our guards, there's a reason why her nickname is Flash.
What makes the partnership between Natasha Howard and Caitlin Clark so exciting is Howard's ability to score in transition. She flies down the court, keeps great control of her body, and finishes strong at the rim, exactly what a passer like Clark, with her exceptional vision, needs. Last season, Howard stood out as one of the few players to average over 18 points and 7 rebounds per game, proving not just solid, but truly a light efficiency.
10-point lead now for Mersin. And it's stolen away. Howard leading the charge, hands it away, gets it back. Oh, a one-handed off 2. A little bit of showboating for Mersin. Gotta love that.
The Indiana Fever faced challenges last season in fully taking advantage of Caitlin Clark's exceptional passing, with many potential assists missed due to teammates not keeping up or struggling to finish in traffic. Natasha Howard, a proven finisher, expressed her excitement about the opportunities, saying, "I can't wait to run the floor and finish those passes."
With a minimum of 25 games played, Natasha Howard was one of just 13 players to average 18 points per game. She was one of 16 players to average 7 rebounds per game. And the list of players to average both 18 and 7 last year, short and elite. Asia Wilson, Brianna Stewart, Nafisa Collier, Brittany Griner, and yes, Natasha Howard. Versatility is a major calling card for
Natasha Howard brings more than just offensive firepower. The Indiana Fever, who ranked near the bottom defensively last season, gained a major boost with Howard's nearly 7-foot wingspan. She's a defensive force, capable of guarding multiple positions effectively. Impressively, Howard has averaged at least 1 block and 1 steal per game for 7 straight seasons, helping transform the team's defensive identity.
And we haven't yet touched upon what Howard does best: defend. Howard was named Defensive Player of the Year in 2019 and has finished in the top 10 of the Defensive Player of the Year voting 3 times in her career. Howard has averaged at least 1 block and 1 steal per game in each of her last 7 seasons. And that versatility is really what makes her a weapon on defense.
Natasha Howard brings more than just scoring ability. The Indiana Fever, who struggled defensively last season, get a major upgrade with Howard's nearly 7-foot wingspan. She's a defensive powerhouse, able to guard multiple positions with ease. Over the past 7 seasons, Howard has averaged at least 1 block and 1 steal per game, helping reshape the team's defensive presence.
Span and 6'2" height allows her to be disruptive defensively around the rim on opposing bigs too. In fact, Howard will enter the 2025 season 25th all-time in blocks in WNBA history.